Hello and welcome each and every one of you. With you today is me, Daiga, multilinguistic international coach therapist from DCTcentre, and with me is spiritual consultant Morganne Rain, gratefully provided access to high dimensions of being. Morganne has been called healer of healers as a way to describe her unique spiritual tools she shares. Morgan is here to serve those who see great understanding of their sacred spiritual self, have deep desire to integrate that consciousness in their 3D world. And with us is Jeannie Reina as well, licensed psychotherapist in state of Washington, working primarily with early childhood trauma, sexual abuse, and emotional neglect, helping clients improve themselves. Jeannie sees herself as a lifetime student of growth. She continually takes classes to enhance her knowledge base. And please remember, if you or your family or friends are interested in personal therapy and healing, you can reach out to me, Morgan or Jeannie, for private sessions. Our contact details are in description below the video. If you like what I do, please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube and Rumble channels. So, hello, two lovely ladies. Thank you for coming here again this morning.
You're welcome.
Oh, what we are going to talk about today? How been your week?
Well, I want to keep moving on that conversation that was happening before we got online, because I think it's a relevant, universal conversation for all people at this time. So I'd like for Jeannie to start it because she started the conversation.
Okay. So a lot of people are feeling like they don't have money. And so that's a feeling of lack. So that's an energy vibration that's lacking. And so
Which is based in what?
The
F word.
Fear.
Here.
Right. So they're in fear. And so so it's really good if people understand and take note where they are. Like they're in fear, they're in not enoughness. All you're thinking is manifesting what you get. And so there's a trust that has to happen where you just trust that you're doing the best you can to get what you want. And I would say the more we go into fear, the more we're lowering our vibration. And so it's about noticing that we need to pick up our vibration. And how do we do that when we're so fearful? And you can say, did I pay my bills last month? Did I pay my bills the month before? And just raising the vibration, knowing that and trusting that it'll all work out. But it will not work out if you're constantly in fear. And so it's just catching yourself. Am I in fear or am I in love? And so it's a combination of two. You have to take action towards creating more money in your life, but it's also your vibration, your energy has to be a different vibration than fear, because with the combination of those two things, you will manifest the abundance that's in the world. So it's just a matter of being awake and aware of how you're thinking and feeling at the time. And then it's sitting down and changing that feeling and that vibration. Mm-hmm. And think about a time maybe when you were in abundance, and how did that feel in your body? Mm-hmm. And it's but I think the key here is to really notice when you're negative and you're in fear. And because if you don't notice that, you're going down a rabbit hole and you continue to go there. And it's doing the exact opposite of what you want.
Well, it's fulfilling the fear. It's fulfilling what you're in picturing, right?
Right.
And feeling it. That's the way it works. Remember when we talked last week about my epiphany around image, right?
Mm-hmm.
I imagine it's within me, right? It's that internal I. And when we start in picturing, there's not enough. There's how am I going to do? When we start in picturing the fear, right? Then that's what's going to outpicture. That's going to be what shows up in our world, because that's how it works. A thought plus a feeling equals a result, right? Basic 101 manifestation. A thought plus a feeling equals a result. So the thought, oh my God, I don't have enough money to pay my bills. What's the feeling that comes with that? Right? So you think about the feeling that comes with that. Is that a feeling and a thought that you want to be carrying around? Because I will tell you that will be what equals your result. So does it take work? Yes. If you don't want that result, then what is it that you truly want? Let's work from the result end. What is it you truly want? So let's say you truly want to know all my bills are always paid. What a beautiful concept, right? All my bills are always paid. So when I say something like that, what's the first thought that comes up?
The first thought or feeling?
First thought, all my bills are always paid.
I'd like David to answer that because
I'm at the moment blank.
Okay.
Because I have straight away yes, but there.
There's the but. I love it. There's the but.
Yeah,
Right?
I straight away have yes, but yes, I pay those bills, but it's like last minute I just managed to pay those bills. Yeah?
So listen to that, right? It wasn't just an acceptance of all my bills are always paid, right? Oh, but and then Daga goes into a little story. Well, we all do that, right? Around something that we haven't quite latched onto. But let's go back. All my bills are always paid, right? So when we go there, and if you suspend the but for just a moment, when we go, all my bills are always paid. What would that? So let's pretend like all my bills are always paid. Like in your pretend world, when in your pretend world, when all your bills are always paid, how do you feel?
Of course, I feel great.
You feel great, right? So tell me about that feeling of great. What's great about that feeling?
You feel freedom.
Freedom. Wow. So how do you know you have freedom?
It's feeling everywhere. It's just you don't have to think about anything else.
Exactly. Does it feel good?
Yes, it feels
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So let's bring that feeling. Let's keep hanging. How's it? I mean, I got it. I got goosebumps even. I'm in that feeling because it feels good to know everything in your world is handled, right? Everything. And this begins to build that consciousness. I won't call it a belief because everybody knows here what I think about the word belief, but it builds that consciousness of, oh my God, everything I need is already provided. All my bills are paid. I am well taken care of. All of those beautiful thoughts about self. That's what brings in, that's that in picturing. We want to develop that in picturing of everything is well, everything is good. I'm so excited. Life is good. And then move in your world that way. And then you become an attractor. The out picturing begins to happen. The out picturing is, I am supported. This flow is coming in. It takes work in the beginning to do that, because it's so easy to go to, oh, I don't have enough this week, and I'm really worried about all of that. See, that energy goes down. I'm really worried. That's praying without ceasing when you're worrying. So let's move into lifting that frequency, because it's so easy to go into the I don't have enough. There's not that victim consciousness, and I call all that victim consciousness, is prevalent in our world. It's supported in our world. We get to commiserate with people in our world. But when we decide we're going to in picture, we're going to use our God-given capacity to build our world, know our world in a whole different way, then when we in picture the new world, the new way, the new life, then it out pictures. So I kind of want to take that. It's like worrying about money is like worrying about air.
Worrying about money is like worrying about what?
Air.
Yeah.
Right? So
Right.
if we look at what is money?
It's paper.
Energy.
Energy.
Right.
But paper is what they give us as a symbol of that energy, right?
Right.
So money is just energy. So it also, one of my favorite words for money is currency. This is why I love that word, currency. Inherent in the root word of that is current, which means now, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're in a currency, that means there's a flow going on. If you're not in a currency, if the currency is impeded, there's not, and stagnation begins to happen. And those are the beautiful points in our lives where we go, oh, well, here's one of my blocks to currency, right? Why is my world not flowing in that kind of way? So I like, how I like to break down words. Are you current in how you're feeling about your flow in your life? Or are you parked back there in the past with the fears, the worries, the blah, blah, blahs about there's not enough? Oh my God, there is so much in our world. We live in an abundant, magnificent world. And I say go in, do the in picturing of what you want to create in your world. Forgive yourself for being, part of the old consciousness, right? And lift yourself up. And, it's so interesting because everybody knows here I don't have like a job, right? Because I'm in this flow and this currency of just allowing Spirit takes care of me really, really good. I just, I can't imagine living another way. But my end picturing is I'm always cared for. I'm not scared that there's not enough, because I know there's more than enough. There's plenitude. There's an abundance. So I'd say go back to your to everyone here, everyone that's listening or listening in the future. If you're finding you have stagnancy in your life If your flow to your good is not flowing, then go back in and do that in picturing and that in feeling about what it is you want to create with that end result in mind. Like, I have plenty, there's more than enough. I rest eat. And then the other thing is, people get addicted to complaining. They do. People get addicted to complaining because sometimes they feel like that's when they get heard. So that just is a drop that my guidance plopped in there. Are you addicted to complaining? So I'd start saying, let's get addicted to celebration, to to or at least if we're going to complain, let's complain about all the wealth and the goodness and all of that we're going to deal with. We're going to be with. So does any of that help anybody? Make sense?
Yes, it makes perfect sense. Absolutely. I love the currency analogy, because it's so true. Current flows, and um, we stop the flow when we're in fear.
Yep, we do. And and we're all on this journey, right? Because humanity has been instructed that there's not enough, but that's not true. That's not a truth statement.
Right.
But what it is an opportunity for us to go, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to break down all the lies. That's not the truth, right? And I love too that whole analogy of the currency, the flow, the movement, the flexibility. And I a lot of times think about a river because rivers have they have the currents, right? They
Right.
move, they flow, but sometimes there's a big rock in the middle. And what do you do with the big rock? You confront it. You be there with it. You don't just pretend it's not there. Which is like our old stinky beliefs, right? That sometimes we pretend they're not there, but they are there. And that's when we confront it. That's when we forgive ourselves for holding that frequency. Or we forgive others that we have attached to that. Forgiveness is a powerful tool to release the boulders in the middle of our streams. Forgiveness is a powerful tool for that.
Yeah, I do hope somebody will find it helpful as well, not only us.
Yeah,
Because
in picturing, that's the most powerful tool we have. So let's use it. Let's use it. Let's practice it. Let's be with it. Let's apply it in all areas of our lives, especially those areas in our lives where there may be boulders. And yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
Um, I'd like to share out of this today.
okay, of course.
Today's it's September 25th, awareness. And that's really what we're becoming aware about what we think and about what we feel, right? We're becoming aware. Let not, hang on, I got to get the right. Okay, let's not let our minds wander. A wandering mind can't be a dangerous thing, can it? Isn't a wandering mind a relaxed mind, a peaceful one? The answer is occasionally yes. However, if we let our minds wander unattended too often, they get snatched up by the ego, and then we're in trouble. When the ego grabs hold of our minds, we see culprits who aren't really there. We feel fear that has no basis. We plan attacks on others that will harm all of us. Must we be vigilant every moment regarding the workings of the mind? Yes, but it's not as difficult as it may sound to keep the mind in check. It's primarily a decision. And we instantly know when we have wandered off from the Holy Spirit because we start feeling fear. Fear is ever present when the mind wanders too far from God and love and the belief that we have purpose in this physical realm. We aren't perfect. That's why we're still on this journey. Dropping the hand of God is an everyday occurrence for some of us. All of us remember the peacefulness of holding God's hand. We will reach for it again, always. And the affirmation for today is I will monitor my thinking today. I'll know instantly when I have dropped the hand of God. So when fear comes in, that's when we drop the hand of God. That's really what it is, which means I don't believe there's a God. I don't believe there's nothing there. I don't believe there's a flow. That's where that ego mind takes us. But the truth is, when we move back into the presence, when we move back into the flow, which God is the flow, the currency, the abundance, the goodness, when we get into those higher frequencies, that's when we're in the flow. So if you think about that map of consciousness, when we're working in those lower dimensions where we're surrounded by egoic mind, fear, blame, shame, greed, all of that is down in that. But when we lift up our frequencies, when we abide with the power and the presence of God, with the Holy Spirit, then we're back in the flow and the currency and what else is possible. So I thought, oh, interesting. Our reading seems to parallel this whole concept that we've been talking about today.
Okay. But if we're looking at the world in general, what was happening all the time on planet Earth, yeah? Those who believe in God, those who believe in something higher, yeah, they most of the times they are extremely poor and they are just living on belief, yeah. But those who don't, they are as rich as hell, yeah, and sitting on I don't know, gold boudoirs or something like that, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So how that is getting in these lines of believing and trusting and taking hand, and another way what we see around.
A lot of people who have a really strong, deep belief in the divine, they're not focused on the material aspect because for them it's a material aspect. It's not what they're going for. So we talk about the beautiful souls that just want to commune with God and know God in the presence. See, they've already found their wealth. They don't need it materialized in the physical realm because the physical realm is impermanent. It's not what's real. They have everything they need because some of these people live to ripe old ages, so they're getting exactly what they need to be right where they are, right? And as far as going after things and the sinners or whatever, that acquiring of the physical realm, that acquiring of the material is their goal. That's what they do. So you can create money doing nefarious things. God's not going to stop that. That's their consciousness. That's what they're doing, right? Same thing for people who are, you see, I kind of feel like I'm kind of in between those two things because I just have a deep belief that God supplies me with everything I need every time, which what happens every time, right? They also have a belief that they have to go out and create wealth and generate that because that makes them feel connected. That's their ego. We're also here to change that whole concept, right? The fear of lack and we're here to transform that into the flow of good. So you can acquire money and the stuff nefariously and in not the right way, but that's just material things. When we
Yeah.
put faith in our trust and get into that flow, then how things come into our lives are magical, are beautiful, are good, because we're in the current of it. We're in the exploit. We're in ex the experience of it. Those who are uh, going after money and things and power for that sake, then they're in the exploitation of it. That's their whole strategy. They're living down in that lower dimensional. They're not doing it from a higher frequency. So they exploit by exploiting humans. So you see online scammers, right? They make a lot of money, but how do they make money? They exploit, right? That so their whole strategy is based on exploitation. Ours, if we can move ourselves into that flow, is a concept and a consciousness of exploration, exploring what else is possible, what else is good, to move our frequency there so that we get into the God frequency of abundance rather than the 3D world frequency of abundance. They're two very different things.
Right. And I believe that, people who, make a lot of money through, in nefarious ways, I don't believe they're happy. They may have a lot of money, but it's all ego based and all fear based, and doesn't mean they're happy at all. They, they may look happy with their yachts and all different things, but the reality is they're not at peace with themselves. Like it's like I wouldn't want to be around somebody like that because their energy would just be not good. But I believe they get the money too because they think they deserve it. And it's like the whole belief system is they deserve it, and so they're getting it, because they have that mindset that,
They have different belief system. They deserve it.
right,
I want and I get it. Yeah, I
right,
deserve.
right, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah. So that is a parallel with worthiness, right? Deservability, worthiness. I'd say if the flow's not coming in, elevate yourself to my worth, right? My value, my good, right? So we can take clues from what the lower frequency, how they create, because they are creating. They are, they live a lifestyle that a lot of people would love to live. I wouldn't want to live that. I've been in that world. I don't want to even be there because I know what is attached to that world, and I'm not willing for my soul to go there.
right,
I'd rather hang out with a monk up in the cave because he's living in joy and happiness. Because that's, for me, that's the true wealth. That's
right,
the true worth. That's
absolutely,
it. That's it right there.
absolutely,
No,
So
for me, it feels very unfair. Yeah, that those who work for good, who work for God, they actually have to live really in basic, let's say, in caves. Yeah, when those who doing bad for humanity, yeah, live in richness, in power, in such. I definitely don't, get me wrong. I most definitely don't want to be there. Yeah, but I don't want to live in a cave.
let's take a beautiful being that we all know about, the Buddha, right? When the Buddha was a prince, before the Buddha became, he was Siddhartha. He was a prince. He lived royally. He lived lavishly. He lived within the confines of palace walls, guarded, protected, shielded from the outside world. had everything at his disposal. Mostly he was shielded from the outside world, so he would never have to experience what the outside world was doing, right? But he wanted to know what is on the outside world, right? So he left the comfort, the wealth, the position, the royalty. He left it all because it meant nothing to him. He was on a path of self-discovery. Those things do not make you know who you are. They do not, they're
Well,
just things. It's not even, it's not the realness that we seek within the inside. So what does he do? He leaves that all behind and he moves into that place of self-discovery. He moves into walking amongst the people, understanding. That's where he discovered who he truly is and who we all truly are. But he had to leave so when we talk about a cave versus a mansion, what are the trappings in that mansion? What do you have to do to keep and maintain all of that, right? Being in a cave, being up on a mountaintop is disconnecting yourself from all that lower 3D energy. And that cave on the mountaintop is the mansion for the yogi who is up there, because he's got a whole world up there that we cannot enter because we have still stayed stuck in the glorious mansion here in the 3D world. We're trapped by the sparkly things. We forget that inner world, that in picturing, that we leave that behind and we start chasing the things in the 3D world. That it's incorrect.
right. I think also when we get angry or jealous or whatever we're feeling about the people that have money, and have all this stuff, we're actually, I think we're dumbing ourselves down, and because we're not seeing who we are. We're seeing who we are through the earth's eyes, but not through God's eyes. And,
we see who we are not.
Right. No. Yes, who we are not. And that's how we dummy ourselves down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I think it's what it is it's not living in love. And for me, it's like seeing these rich people. It's like, that's great. It doesn't mean I want to be with them or want to be like that. It's just that's great that they're like, it's a great picture of manifesting what you want.
Yeah.
And regardless of what they're doing, it's none of my business, because it's God's business. And I feel like if I go there, I'm going down. Like if I go, judging them, and I'm going down because I'm lowering my frequency through judgment.
Exactly.
So it's I just have to wish them well, and I'm happy for them that they're happy and they're doing what they're doing. It's none of my business whether it's illegal or not illegal or anything. It's just and it could be corrupting the world and all that stuff. I can't do anything about that. Right. All I can do is what I can do with inside of me. Mm-hmm. So it's like I bless them, and I'm happy for them, and then I have to work on myself to know who I am, and to raise my vibration, to be able to know that there is abundance all around, through the plants and the flowers and the trees and the beauty of nature, and every and the relationships we have, like everything. There's so much abundance. But when we don't have this piece of paper, we're acting as though we're less than, and we're really not. We're beautiful manifestations of God.
Yep.
And it's we have to, you know, it's each one of our individual work is to remember that and to be there and not be lowered down by the density of the earth, because there's so much density on this earth, and we have to, it's our personal um, job to, or mission to raise our vibration and to help, because that's the way we help the planet the most. We help everybody by raising our own vibration. Everything begins with us.
Yeah, I don't. I do not judge them, or I do not feel jealous of them or something. It's just I'm making my observation between people who really is very much as serving God and goodness, yeah, and people who are actually serving darkness, yeah. It's just observation.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you another piece of observation from the scriptures. Behold, the lilies of the field is a phrase from the Bible found in the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew 6:28 and Luke 12:27, encouraging people not to worry about their needs for food and clothing. The lilies demonstrate God's provision as they grow beautifully without toiling or spinning, and yet are clothed in greater splendor than even King Solomon. This biblical passage calls for trust in God, highlighting the care for all creation and all people, reminding us that as God's chosen children, we are far more valuable and receive the provision if we seek the kingdom first. So, what is that seeking the kingdom first? The kingdom is within you. Christ taught that. The kingdom is within. Kingdom is within. Seek first the kingdom within. In picture, right? Within. So I thought this would be a good time to draw some cards. What do you think?
I start thinking because you have little time, maybe we need to go to meditation. Look at the
Uh,
time for yourself.
we're going to quick draw some cards because I think that's what my so Jeannie and Dag, I just want you to put your energy on the cards and just the right messages, however you want to do that. And then Daga, you begin first and you tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay, Jeannie, you do the same thing. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay, Daga, this is your message. Chariot.
Yes, beautiful.
Chariot. So let's see.
Something very fast moving.
How's that?
I know in tarot cards, chariot is something very fast moving. I don't know in this card.
Yeah, let's find out. So this is your message for today. Let me go find it.
And remember that all these cards are for all of us.
Yep.
Yes, that's for all of us. And it is, I was thinking about actually money situation for all who needs it at the moment. So,
Okay.
so that's message for everybody who needs
All
some
right.
knowledge about money situation.
So the Chariot is an identity card. This card represents you after activation and awakening. At one point, you may have thought this card required a lot of strength. However, by now you should know it does not. This type of empowerment is natural to you. It's your birthright. This is what happens to your body automatically if somebody or some system is not constantly hammering you down like a nail into the wood. This card has been referred to as victory for obvious reasons. In highest form, this card shows you and your relationship to your body as they truly exist: integrated, unified, powerful. Now, it is important to understand that what you see here is not something you have to attain. Here. Okay, I'm going to read that because this is really important. Now, it is important to understand that what you see here is not something you have to attain here. Beneath all the mud and muck that you cover your body with, this is who you are right now. Remember the veil? Although it impacts your chakras and all that, really the veil is a cover over your consciousness. All things, even the physical manifestation of your chakras, starts with an idea in consciousness. Turning your body into anything but a glowing chariot of light requires a change of image first. You have to learn to see yourself as covered over and even made up with mud, slime, and dirt. Then washing away the mud is as easy as it changing your self-image. We can help with that. As you learned in the introduction, this is about the introduction of these cards. They're designed specifically to help wash away the mud and the muck. So it's talking specifically about the image, the in picturing, right? The image, right? So we have an image of ourselves as not deserving, less than. They have it out there, I don't. That's all that internal image that you've created. This is specifically instructing you to change that image. Do the work, change the image, become the chariot.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome very much. And anyone else listening, that's your message. Okay, Jeannie, she's got this card called Jupiter. And I'm trying to hold it very still.
Sorry, my fault. I was.
There you go.
Beautiful
beautiful.
Jupiter. Let's find out what Jupiter is trying to say to us today. This was formerly the Justice card. So in the old tarot, it's the Justice card, which we're moving into that Libra time now, right? The balancing of the scales, the Justice. Okay, this is a personality card. The other one was an identity card, how we see ourselves, right? This is a personality card. This card represents Jupiter. As you may or may not know, Jupiter is the master of the one law. Jupiter keeps a record, since some call this an Akashic record, of all your actions while you are beneath the veil. When necessary, Jupiter reminds you your actions and of any cleanup obligations you have remaining. I love it. Cleanup obligations. I love that. You can think of Jupiter as your mirror. Jupiter reflects back at you the areas of creation which you may have damaged while working beneath the veil, and for which you are now responsible. As explained in the Book of Life, the expectation is that you will clean up after your own messes. Now, keep in mind here, this is not punishment and it is not forced. You can, if you wish, walk away from your responsibilities. Of course, most of the time we do not. Keeping our karmic obligations was part of the agreement. It was something we agreed to in order to have the privilege and honor of being able to incarnate on this earth and work on the ascension. That is all there is to it. It's simply a question of spiritual responsibility. The true energies of karmic balance are nothing like the eye for an eye, throw the criminal in jail and execute them of justice, which is a common part of the Anunnaki system. Karma is nothing more than your voluntary agreement to clean up after yourself. And what is more, you do not have to do it by yourself. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to help others. For every good deed you do, for every mess you clean up, we all take a step closer to our original innocence. I'll stop there because I think that's absolutely perfect. We got to clean up our own thinking, our
Right.
own, right? And we know what it is by what's present in our world. Our world gives us a perfect reflection, a perfect image. There is that word again, image of what is being reflected from in here. It's a
Mhm.
reflection.
Right.
Oh, look what Morganne got. Could,
1 minute, 1 minute. Wow,
Wow.
master, of course.
the master. Okay.
Who else? No questions.
Huh?
No questions. Of course, you get master.
Well, it's for all of us. Remember that? So if you look
Yes.
at the progression of these cards as the work we do, and this is going to kind of we'll do a tiny bit of meditation, but this is all meditative work because it's asking us really to look within. So where does it lead us to? The master. Let me find the master. Oh, 38. Oh, it's also called the magician. There's that image word again. Oh my goodness. Okay. Again, this is for us, and it's perfect that it's the last card. This is also an identity card. This card provides additional information about you. This card shows your work. This shows you manifesting divine will. This is you accomplishing the great work. This is you as emissary of energy and light. This is you as a master of creation. Please take note here. You are no empty conduit for spirit. You are no mere vessel unto which divine is poured. You are no simple servant. You are no lamb of God. You are no fallen angel. You are no descended ape. You are the caretaker. You are the nurturer. You are the gardener. You are the architect. You are the will. You are the way. You are the creator of this world. In old energy cards, you are told this is who you might be if you pass the test, if you learn the rules, and if you submit like and to the brothers. Old energy versions, while they do represent mastery, always say you must work, train, struggle, achieve, attain first. Only after the trial do you achieve the mastery. Now, while it is certainly true, even for spirit, that practice makes perfect, that is not really what this card is about. This card is about your divine purpose, which in the old energy gets twisted into a justification for toil and slavery. Work, 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 and you will win, win, win. It does not matter whether this toil is undertaken in a factory, a university, or a monastery. Toil towards attainment, toil towards forgiveness, toil towards paradise, toil, toil, toil. And the old energy, this card is the carrot on the stick. New energy versions of the card will do away with such nonsense and simply remind us we are already masters of creation. We are not new in this game. We are older than this universe. We are experts at creation. We are masters already. It may be difficult to fathom at first, but it gets easier quickly. Understanding of this will come naturally from your reconnection to yourself. Meditate with the great invocation. Open your third eye, open your crown, and remember. So that's a perfect movement of actually the three cards just spoke about whatever everything we talked about today, right?
Mhm.
And it's absolutely necessary that we have these conversations so that we can begin to really look at what have we thought who we are, right? I love that idea. We think we have to toil, work. I need more clients. I need more this. I need blah, blah, I won't be able to blah, blah, blah if I don't have it, right? Give me more to do. Give me more. So that becomes our worthiness is our doingness. That's a belief system we want to like release, right? Our worth is because we are. Let's take a moment and just go within, okay? So I'm just going to invite everyone to just drop what you're doing right now. Just take a moment to take a breath in. Direct that breath within yourself and then just relax and let it go. Dropping into your body. Really dropping into your body. Take another breath in. Bring in your awareness, everything about you within, and then relaxing on the out breath, holding all that you are within yourself as sacred and whole. Just bring another awareness breath within. This time, just breathing it in beautifully and slowly, feeling the flow of spirit moving through your nostrils, down through your windpipes and into your lungs and expanding. Feel that with me. Breathe in. And notice where your breath lands. Is it a nice deep breath? Is it a shallow breath? It doesn't matter. It's just noticing. And now let it go. Now bring your attention to your heart, the intersection of the divine and the human, the intersection of the lower base worlds and the higher frequencies, the intersection where choice is made, where the choice to give into the world and all of its trappings or surrender yourself to spirit. Take a breath in. Choice point. Right there in the breath, right there in the heart. And I invite you, as we have taken this beautiful journey today, spoken of the fears and the concerns, and allow the spoken concerns and fears to just be that as they just dissolve into the nothingness where they came from. Because fear is not real. Fear traps us, but fear is not real. It's just the absence of love. And so as we put our focus on our hearts, we begin to move our awareness and our consciousness into the fullness of love. And just breathe that in. In the heart is where we allow ourselves to use it as a launching pad into what else is possible in spirit. We already know what's possible in the world. We're used to that. But allow this time to just be a grand experiment for yourself, to move into a flow, into a being current in spirit. Being awake and aware of the power and the presence and the life of God everywhere around us. To move up that consciousness scale into appreciation and gratitude, which is right there in the heart. And the gratitude is like opening a door. So in your world, I invite you to think of 2 things right now you're just really grateful for. And think about that gratitude. And in that frequency of thinking about gratitude, realize that is an open door now to higher frequencies. So feel into that gratitude even more. And now find 2 more things you're grateful for. Now the door is open wider. Find 2 more things you are open, that you are grateful for. And the door is opening even wider. And find 2 more things you are grateful for. And breathe into that gratitude. Breathe into gratitude and notice with that gratitude, how's your body feeling? How's your mind feeling? You have opened a door. You have opened a door to a higher consciousness, a higher awareness. Let's move into appreciation. Appreciation is the growing. When you appreciate something, it grows. So let's begin to appreciate all the areas in our lives where we thought that we didn't have enough. Let's begin to appreciate joy and wealth and health, and appreciate goodness, appreciate creation, appreciate. Take a breath in. With that door even more open with gratitude, and even more open with the appreciation of all things. Let your door continue to be open as it flows with the consciousness of spirit, the currency of spirit flowing in, the currency of creator moving into you, unimpeded, full flowing, creation at your fingertips, creation within every thought, creation, flow, being current, be in the presence, being now. This is mastery. Being in the flow, in picturing first, in feeling first, with gratitude, with love, with appreciation. Breath in. And now imagine yourself 1 hour from now. Just 1 hour from now, with this awareness, with this consciousness, with this flow. Who are you 1 hour from now? Has the old world pulled you back? Or are you in the flow of creation, of life, of abundance, of true wealth and health? 1 hour, where are you? And now we're going to move it to 1 week from now. 1 week from now, when we're on a call and we're talking, where are you? Begin to image yourself with your in picturings in your outer world. Breath in, heart open, gratitude flowing, feeling appreciation for those things we'd like to appreciate in our lives, whatever that is. Appreciate money, appreciate love, appreciate relationships, appreciate family, appreciate, grow in your love and your gratitude. And relax your body. Bring your awareness back to your heart. Give thanks from this place that you're in picturing now out pictures in your world. Much gratitude for that out picturing. As we give thanks together, as we appreciate together, as we love together, for we are here on purpose, right here on this planet at this time together. We are on purpose doing this great work that we are doing here today. And for all that great work that we have done here today, I give thanks, because I know that it allows us to be in that ascension energy, ascending up that awareness, that consciousness map. The ascension to love, to remembering, to full connectedness. And for all that, I am deeply grateful. And let it be. And so it is.
That was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jeannie, do you want to say something?
Thank you, ladies, for the session today. It's very powerful. And thank you for everyone who's listening. I hope you got as much out of it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone who is listening. Thank you, Morganne and Jeannie. It's, I cannot say how much I appreciated our meetings, and oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And please, everybody who likes our shows, please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube and Rumble channel. And see you next week. God bless.